All right, we are live. We're live. Let me see if I can just share my screen right here so everybody can see the screen pretty well. All right, so today we have a deal that we're going to help underwrite on behalf of one of our community members. It is 122 Elm Drive. So let me kind of go in here and I'll show you guys on Zillow when I looked it up. So when I looked it up, 1952, looked at some photos. Looks like just flooring work, some painting work. Overall, pretty cosmetic rehab for this property. So let's go ahead and try to figure out what county this is in. Okay. County is in Williams County. Okay, I ran into some problems doing this, so let's just struggle through it together. So when you go to HUD FMR, and you go to the small area market rents here, let's go through here, and also let's go through the 2024 FMRs at the same time to get the city, Ohio, and then this one is in Williams County. Let's make sure that's correct. Is that correctly? Williams County, right? Double check. County, Williams County. Okay. So this is one of the weird ones where when I clicked on the small area FMR, the county actually does not come up. Maybe because this area is too rural, but let me show you guys what I mean. When I click on the small area FMR and I try to look for Williams County, it's actually not in here. So I can't see anything for Williams County here. So I go back to the section right above it and I'm able to find it in Williams County. That's probably because this county is too small, so they don't have breakdowns by zip code. So that's how they decide what the market rents are by different areas. So here is where I'm getting FMRs for Williams County in Ohio, which is 1,086, and then it is 860 for a 2-bedroom or 1,145 for a 4-bedroom. Okay. Now, let me see if I can pull up my spreadsheet and let's just write down these numbers, right? Because that's the whole point of why we're doing this. So FMR in 43506, FMR 43506. This is for a 3-bed. And then I'll note down the thing for a 4-bed right here. Just underwriting it together, guys. 1086, just putting in the work. It might not be the most exciting stuff in the world, but this is putting in the work and getting in practice. And I get to help a community member out today in the affordable housing community. So she told me she already got a renovation budget for $15,000. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and do that. And she told me that she has bought this property for, what was it? Let's underwrite it together. $79,000 plus $3,500. $79,000 plus a buyer's premium of $3,500 for this REO property. So looks like she's getting a deal so far. It was listed for $125 and she got it for $82.5-ish, essentially. Our rents here, the ceiling rent, what I'm calling the ceiling rent, is $1,086. 1086. Okay. At 1086, let's see what the property taxes are. Let's see if I can find this on Redfin. Usually I like their estimates a little bit better, but if not, I'll just take it from Zillow. I just like Redfin's UI a little bit better than all of the other ones. So let's just kind of see what we got. Any estimates here? $91 for property taxes. And she told me she was getting $100 for insurance. So let's do 91. Actually, hold on. She sent me a thing saying it was $2,000. She sent me a property tax bill that says the taxes due was $1917.50. So I'm going to do equals $1917.50 divided by 12. That gives us $159 a month. And then I got a monthly insurance number of roughly $100 a month for this property. I'm assuming we'll be using 10% for property manager for this property. No, not 8%, but 10% based on what she said. 0.1. And I'll leave vacancy at 3%, assuming it's a Section 8 rental here. And from that point onwards, what's up, Will? And then what we're going to do is figure out whether or not this is a deal. So let's go to affordablehousing.com. So we always get our rents from FMR first, but then we also try to get our floor rents, right? Which is essentially if the FMR is a 1,086, but then your market rent right here, according to 10 units within 16-mile radius, which is pretty big, is 889. You want to make sure that you have a floor in your assumption to see whether or not that is within the range of what you're looking for. Let me go back to 3-bed. This is 3-bedroom. And this is 4-bedroom. This is important for us to gauge these numbers. And just so you understand where it comes from the market rent estimator on affordablehousing.com. You plug in the address, you plug in the bedroom count, and that's how you get these numbers. Just going through the process one more time, just so making sure that everybody is following how we're underwriting the deal. 718. And then we have another county at 889. Okay. Great. Now, what if I turn this into a 4-bedroom? Because what if the property is big enough and there's a garage, which I didn't think there was a garage. I'll double check the photos later, but nothing comes up. Interesting. Maybe there are no 4-bedroom properties. So you can think about it as, hey, I don't know what I can get for it, but maybe I can still get 1145 and increase my odds because there isn't really a comparable property in this zip code or in this area that has 4 bedrooms. So that allows you to have a product that is more attractive to the market because you're one of very, very few 4-bedroom properties in here. So that could allow you to attract what we call the tier 1 tenants, which are essentially the folks that will probably respect your property more, assuming you do the right screening, and will understand that there's not that many other 4-bedroom properties. So now that we've gone through the affordablehousing.com estimator, we've gone through the FMR. Let me kind of close out this stuff. Let's look through the photos really quick. What I'm looking for right here is whether or not there is an opportunity to convert an extra bedroom. I'm not sure if this is considered a good bedroom. No, it's not a good bedroom. I mean, you could if you really wanted to. You could convert this into a very small bedroom, but I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Unless there's a dining room over here. No, there's no dining room over here. So that's your 1-bedrooms. Yeah, it looks mostly cosmetic. Got a floor. Got to replace the flooring, repaint everything. Just got to double check on the foundation. That could just be settling issues from the concrete, but you never know if there's like any foundation issues there. And sometimes it's just a little hard to tell. Another big crack over there. So you just want to take a look at it from a structural engineer standpoint, whether or not there's any structural issues. But there is a garage here. So you could think about whether or not I can convert this garage into a livable space, spend the money, and now you lose a parking spot. But it looks like there's plenty of the street parking here. Let's take a quick look on Google Maps, huh? Let's do that. Let's have a street view. If I turn this into a living garage, can people park on the street? Yeah, there's no parking signs on the street or anything. This seems like a pretty solid neighborhood so far. I don't see anything that jumps out. Luckily, it's an attached garage, so you can always either put in a mini split to get additional rents. All right, so let's go through this. Okay, so what we have here is she mentioned that she is going to look for a PEML, which stands for private money lender, to borrow at 10% interest only until she gets this property rented out. So if I do, let's just call, that's a reservation reserve. Let's call this holding costs. And she's going to get a loan for the asking price plus the renovations at 10% for interest only time. Let's just call it a worst case scenario, like a 4-month rehab, assuming you got to get all the permits and everything to do any of the garage conversions. But if not, you might be able to convert this place in 3 months. So if I just do holding costs for 3 months And I got to divide it by 12 because that's how it should work. That's another $2,437. If you are able to refi this after 6 months at 5% LTV, you still have to leave in about 25% of the down payment in there, because I'm not sure what the ARV is for this property. But if we assume we're buying this conventionally, this would be, let's take it step by step, right? Let's underwrite it using a conventional purchase first, so we can kind of keep everything consistent. So 1086 is going to be my ceiling rent. At 1086, this property yields a $57 cash flow at 1.7% cash on cash return, which is not a deal for me, but let's just keep going. So what's my floor now? Let's say my floor is 889, because that's where this number came from. They came from affordablehousing.com, and I'm using that as my floor. At 889, this is probably going to be a negative cash flow. This is negative $95, negative 95. And then this is now a negative 2.8% cash on cash return. Okay. Negative 2.8 cash on cash return. This is assume total purchase price at $82,500. $82,500. And this is using an 8% interest rate right now, assuming you spend about $15,000. Okay. So when you are doing this conventionally, those are your deals. And what if I buy this property conventionally but turn it into a 4-bedroom? Okay. Now, if I turn to a 4-bedroom, I need to add at least another $15,000 to convert the garage, assuming I have to convert it, frame it, and also get the permits for it. So at least $15,000. Usually I estimate $20,000. But if I get up to $30,000 now all of a sudden I should be able to charge max rents for the 4-bedroom, which is 1145. So at 1145, what does that get me? At 1145, this brings me to a $102 cash flow, and this brings me to 2.2% cash on cash return. To me, this is not worth, right? If you think about it, you just spent an additional $15,000, assuming that's your best case scenario, to convert the extra room so that you can turn this into a 4-bedroom and charge extra rent, quote unquote, right? But you're only increasing your rents by about $60 in this scenario to convert a garage. So in my opinion, it was not worth it for you to spend the money to convert the garage and ultimately get the rent for a 4-bedroom, because the lift is just not there. I would not convert the garage just based off the numbers here and just thinking out loud here. Okay. Now, what if this property is a burr and we can potentially refinance some of this stuff? Okay, let me pull up let me see if I can find my burr calculator. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Pull my Google Drive. And then meanwhile, I'm going to be looking for sold comps in this area on Redfin. Let's look at this comp, because I wanted to figure out what the ARV is. 122 Bryan, right? Elm Drive. Bryan. And I want to find this on the map. This is kind of on this end, the west end of 127. Okay. So I'll look for sold comps in 43506. Sold comps. What I'm trying to see is when I can burr any of this property. Okay. 13506. This is a single family. This is a 3-bedroom property. And the square footage of that property was the square footage? 1244. So I want to be within roughly 1,500 square feet, max 1,500 square feet. And then I want my minimum to be 1,000 square feet. Okay. Looks like there is one property here that is a 3-bed for $180,000. Let's see if we can see the condition of this home. So this poem looks pretty good. This might be a good burr opportunity then. All right, let me find my burr calculator. If you assume that this is a great burr, then let's see whether or not we can burr this property. 1 second. Let me get in my calculator. Make a new copy. (122) Elm Drive. Kent Burr calculator. All right. So we're just going to run through the example of this burr calculator, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to put in 122 Elm Drive, Bryan, Ohio. Okay. This is a 3-bed. It is a 1-bath. 3-bed, 1-bath. Whoops. 3-bed, 1-bath, 1244. The asking price right now is what it closed. It will be closed for, which is $82,500, $82,500, and our estimated rehab is going to be $15,000. If we assume that the ARV is similar to what this property sold for, which is 180, usually because it's 1 bath, I'll subtract it a little bit, and then I'll subtract 10 grand, and then my price per square foot, I'm gonna divide it equally. So at 1412, this is 127. Okay. So I'm determining my ARV just using rough numbers because I'm only using one comp. Usually you want to do at least 3 comps. Using one comp here at 127. So I'm going to do equals 127 because that's the price per square foot. 127 times 1244, and then I'm subtract $10,000 for one less bathroom. Right? It was only 1 bathroom. Yep. Okay. This is 2 bathrooms, so I want to make sure it's comparing apples to apples. If I think my ARV here is going to be 147 after I renovate because I bought it so steep. Let's see, 82,500. The rehab's going to be $15,000. My market rent is going to be, if you remember from the prior research, 1086. Real estate taxes is going to be equals 159 times 12. My insurance is going to be 1,200 because it was like that earlier. I'll leave my vacant house insurance a little bit higher at 2,000. So my ARV, like I said, was 148 based on my calculation, just doing some minor adjustments. I'm doing this a little bit faster instead of picking up more comps, but that's generally what you will look at. Same side of the intersection, similar square footage, similar lot size, similar year build. That's usually how you look for comps. I'm just doing it quickly so you guys can see and save some time for brevity standpoint. Okay. Your ARV is going to be 148, purchase for 82, 15,000 for repairs. I'm assuming I have closing costs, another for 3,000. And then I'm going to have some acquisitions costs. I'm going to try to put in my holding costs right now. I'm assuming there's a 2.5% points for, maybe it's part 2 because she's looking for a thing. And then I'm going to assume that there is a holding period of 10% interest only for 6 months times the loan amount. So that's going to be my other holding costs altogether. Total all-in cost 106.88. If she gets a PML for every single part, there is no down payment in this scenario. Let's see. Total capital needed, $8,500 out of pocket. The loan terms is going to be max 66%, which isn't bad at all. Loan amount is going to be your purchase price plus your repairs. Boom. Okay. Interest only, yes. Interest is going to be 10%. Boom, boom, boom. I'm assuming $65 for sewer, $100 for gas, and $100 for electric. That might be a little bit high, but let's kind of go through the scenario. 8419. Right. Some scenario analysis here. What do you go over? What do you go under? I got 1086. So my PITI before the refinance was that. Utilities pay for landlord. Cash flow prior to refi. Cash flow after refi. My on cost was 106 after all the rehab. Okay, this is the BRRRR. So it says cash left in deal is actually negative $5,000. So assuming you put in $15,000 and you can get this property to be worth 100, and let me put this up so it can look a little bit more centered. If your ARV is truly 148 and your all-in cost was truly 106, you can get a loan for $110,000 because that's 75% of LTV, which means 75% of 148. So even you assume that you're going to refinance to 8%, your PITI is 1073. You're not really making any money on this deal because of how high the PITI is, but you also did not leave any money in the deal. So to me, it's like, okay, can this be a deal? If you assume that you're getting a home with for no money out of your own pocket, then yeah, I could say it's a deal, but you're not going to be cash flowing on this deal going forward. Yeah. So that's it. That's my quick analysis of a BRRRR to see when it fit a BRRRR. This property looks like, well, here's the thing. She did say a property management company got a Section 8 tenant recently approved for $1,300. I'm not sure if I'm seeing that because it's above the FMR. Now, unless the city or county has higher payment standards, which is entirely possible, if that is true and she really does get $1,300 a month, now all of a sudden she's making money every single month. So using my assumptions, it did not make sense. But if she has better details of a property management company that has gotten a tenant approved at that $1,300 rent a month, well, now all of a sudden it starts to make sense. So, all right, awesome. Thanks for the time, everybody. This was just our daily practice of underwriting a deal together. And hopefully you guys learned a little bit something, and just DM me if you guys want to join our free Facebook group on affordable housing and real estate investing. Thank you and have an amazing Friday. I'll be back on tomorrow to do this all over again. Thanks. We are out.